Welcome back to more Disco Elysium. There should be a lot to do today. I need to go back to the failed electrical factory, but before I do, I want to go talk to Everard once again. Let him know that I talked to Wild Pines, see what his take is on the whole situation regarding the conflict between the two. Last episode was kind of like a filler episode, if you will. You know when you're watching your favorite TV show and there's a filler episode? It's kind of what the last episode felt like. I just read a bunch of books and I played some board games. I lost a board game to Lieutenant Kitsuragi. Very disappointing. But this episode should be pretty action-packed, I think. Alright, Mr. Everard.
So, the ship has sailed. Did you see it? I know you did. Tell me, what did it look like as it grew smaller and smaller when that mainsail dropped behind the horizon?
There's a mean little light in its eyes.
Did it look like a germ? Did it look like a piece of bacteria?
You get a sinking feeling.
Nope. It looked like a boat sailing away from the coast. No need to be overly dramatic.
You wanted us to relay all this information to her.
The lieutenant cuts in.
That this is a takeover? That I want a war? God, I hope you also told her about the drug trade. They absolutely hate getting their hands dirty with that.
He nods forcefully.
You can kill 1 million people, but if you do something the police doesn't like, well, then you're out of the yacht club. Goodbye, you inhuman fuck.
A vein on his forehead is pulsing. So this was your plan all along, for me to relay this information to her?
Harry, I can't see into the future. We are all playing by ear on this planet. I had no idea she'd react so strongly.
He exhales slowly. But you did want me to relay the info to her.
I did. I knew the negotiations would go better with police officers telling her horror stories from inside the harbor. It's scarier this way. Turns out it was a magnificent strategy. I never thought it'd so fundamentally fuck her up.
How do you know she left?
Harry, I bunked her cabin. I bunked her whole boat. I had cameras surveying her boat. Hell, I even wanted to bug that thermal cap, but my boys advised against it.
They must have done it while Joyce was busy questioning the locals.
So you've been listening to our conversations all the time.
Not me personally. I had guys recording and processing this information for me.
He stretches his arms like a discus thrower. The Hardy Boys?
Hell no! They'd fuck it up. They can't do anything right. I mean my real boys. My special task force boys.
Where are these boys?
They sure as hell aren't hanging out in the open with beers in their hands for the cops to question. They're pros, Mr. Kitsuragi.
Now I know why you've been so forthcoming.
No, Harry. What we have is real. We're working men. This here is real.
He taps his chest, then points to you.
In there, under pillows of winter fat, his stress-ridden heart still beats furiously.
That's wild. How you got me to do all that stuff?
Harry, you made a conscious decision to relay that information to her. You could have kept it for yourself.
You used my intellectual curiosity against me.
Against you? Oh, Harry, I'd like to think I used it for you.
He's taken aback.
It was interesting. No arguing against that.
But she told me a beautiful story about the discovery of Insulinde.
Of course she did. Rich people have the best stories. About all the interesting things they've done and seen. All the beautiful places they've been to. It's just sentimentalism. She can afford to be sentimental, and she can afford to lose as well.
It saddens him that she can. Sours it, but only a tiny bit.
But she said she's insane, like me.
She's not insane. What did she tell you?
She told me she's over-radiated from Pale Transit.
No, she's not. She's a sentimental alcoholic. They all are. Never take a drop and you'll be 8 laps ahead of those upper-class winos. Just like old Mr. Clare here. Try it. You'll be a real super detective.
Ah, fuck off. I don't drink more than everyone else.
See, this is what they want us to do. Suck on that sugar and wine teat until we're insane like they are. You've got to be smarter than that, Harry, or you'll lose.
So what's going to happen now?
What was always going to happen? We take the harbour and she fucks off to Ozon, uncorks a bottle of wine, calls her partners, and says they need to distance themselves from this nasty business before the big shit spinner splashes everyone. Only difference is the Union doesn't have to lose 2,000 men to machine gun fire.
Damn, Everett. I was hoping I'd somehow get to fuck you over in the end, not the other way around.
Damn, Harry. I was hoping that too, but the information I gave you proved too powerful.
He shakes his head.
You knew something big, and you wanted to see what happens when you tell someone. So you told her. Anyone who's ever been close to power will tell you. Inside information is the sweetest thing in the world. It's better than money. It's better than pussy. Money only makes you special for some salesmen. Pussy only makes you special for yourself. Information makes you special for all mankind. It's the ticket to history.
No.
Don't beat yourself up, Harry. What you did was participate in history. When history calls, you have to pick up. You had no choice. None of us ever do. A hard disco cop like you, I knew you weren't one to resist temptation.
You know what, Detective? I am going to leave this out of my report, and I suggest you leave it out of yours too.
Just look at the three of us. The three careless boyaderos. Good times, good times.
Okay.
Okay. Hell yes it is.
He swings his fist through the air and shakes his head in agreement. So what the fuck now?
Now we let bygones be bygones because there's work to do. For me and for you. I suppose there was a reason you came here, so let's have it. What can I help my best friend and comrade with today?
Everett, I'm going to leave now, but I might talk again later. Very interesting. Freaking Everett got the best of me. He's a scumbag, but he is good at what he does. I have to give him that. So now let me head back to the Feld factory. I was hot in pursuit of Ruby, and then I decided to go read books and play board games instead. Hope you all can forgive me, but now I'm going back. Let's roll. No, this way. This way. Let's get out of here. I'll swift travel back to the fishing dock, and then I'll go to the Feld factory that way. These guys are still striking, huh? They love a good strike. They've been striking for a week. It's day 7. Okay, to the fisherman shacks. And let's get going. Wait a second. How do I get there again? It's to the other side. This is the church. It'll be over this way. Yep. Let me talk to these two before I go in.
Hello. Isn't this a fine morning?
He nods to you, smiling. I'm looking for a suspect. Have you seen anyone suspicious around?
No, I'm afraid I can't help you with this one, officer. It's just a regular day off for me and Mikhail here.
He pats his son's head.
So you haven't seen anyone around?
No, I'm sorry. As I said, this is just a day off. We just arrived anyway.
There's something friendly and familiar in how he says that. A day off. He's telling the truth. He hasn't seen anyone.
Okay, fine. Fine. So, yeah, I'm gonna go in here. Wait, where is it? Yeah, up here. But before I do, like I said, I feel like something big is coming, so I want to re-equip myself. I think I'm going to put all my armor on. I'm going to put that on. What else do I got? I'm going to put this on. I'm going to put... What's my other one? What's the third piece? The gloves. That's right. I'm going to put the gloves on. Let me put my conceptualization jacket on. Alright. Then pants. Let me put this one, the Royal Carabiner pants. My good friend, Gaston. And then... Yeah, I think I like... I don't like my hats, but I don't really have, like, a good hat. Maybe this one? This one doesn't have any bonuses. Let me see what it looks like, though. Interesting. Now, let me put my RCM Lieutenant's cap. There we go. Excellent. I like that. And then, let's take some drugs, too. I don't want anything that's going to hurt my health. I'll take something that hurts my morale. Here we go. Let's do the vodka. This is that really expensive vodka that I got, and I never got a chance to drink. So why don't I drink this? Oh my god, it's like a gallon here. Excellent. And again, I apologize about this game's bug, but apparently you have to do this like twice before it shows up here for me to use. Let's take a swig. Nice. Let me get my flashlight back on because it is dark in there. And let's go in. Okay, where was I? I was going up this way. I turned back further ahead, I think. I already checked out all of that. If I come here... Yeah, it says the dead end. There's stuff over here. I need to go over there. I think you go around. Okay. I think this is where I turned back. Let me go here. Good. A concrete pipe buried in sand and dust. It feels strange. So I got a polar anorak. A little bit of money. More money. Maybe this is not the end of the game. If they're giving me money, it would imply that I can still use money further ahead. Layers and layers of polyvinyl and artificial sheepskin make this coat ideal for traversing snowy plains on dog sledges. Somehow, you knew it would be waiting for you underground, in a sunken pipe, and you found it. It's as if the city gifted it to you to keep safe. Okay. Let's keep going then. Nothing else here. Go up here.
Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. Aggressive white noise fills your skull. A strange pain, like you've never felt before. Through the static, you hear a woman's voice.
Here we go, boys. It's Ruby the Instigator. We found her, and she's casting some dark magic on me or something.
It's like 1,000 radio stations are being blasted into your head all at once. But her words are the only ones you can make out.
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. Don't move too much or fight it. That'll just make it worse.
Says the shadowy figure by the machine.
Can't say it's a pleasure, officer. I was really hoping not to make your acquaintance. But here we are.
The voice coming through the whirlwind of pain is not malicious. She doesn't want to hurt you, but she has to. Doesn't wish to hurt you, not according to your ear canals. Wait, no, not even your ear canals. This is going directly into your neural pathways.
Cover your ears.
No, buddy, that's not going to help. You can't shield yourself from this. It's an entirely new type of experience. Way worse than all the previous ones.
I am down to 1 health, so let me use a charge here.
Don't focus on the pain. Focus on doing your job. Tell her she's under arrest.
What's happening to me?
I'm using a pale latitude compressor. You and your partner have been caught in its field.
The explosion of static you're hearing is the ULAN frequency, blasted from that pale emitter that Angus mentioned.
I saw your equations. It's the Ulan frequency.
Saw my equations? You've been sniffing through my lorry, right? I expected as much. I am a bit surprised you knew what you were looking at. A pale latitude compressor is used to sort of make the pale more manageable. With a lot of these, you can force a radio signal grid on the pale, literally crunch the distance across it. Signals are relayed across a series of repeater stations fixed to buoys. Not a fun job manning those stations. All alone out there in the pale, people lose their minds in just a few years.
So, what we are experiencing is a concentration of radio waves.
He gestures towards something with great effort.
Precisely. This is an industrial strength paraboloid. It's meant for forcing dimensions on something that doesn't have them. Needless to say, the frequencies used are out of this world. At the upper limit is the large prime number generator station. It's used specifically for pale latitude compression. That's why you may be hearing some numbers. But you might also hear, or think you're hearing, local radio chatter.
She's been holed up in here for a while with no one to talk to. Keep her talking, and you just might get an opportunity to break you loose.
How did you get your hands on this thing?
I built it myself.
She nods towards her torture device.
That's illegal. I'm guessing it's patented. But we are beyond that, aren't we?
Oh yeah, way beyond.
She studies her death rate and the law officials trapped in it. Will I stay like this forever?
No. Once I shut down the compressor, the pain will end. It may take a few minutes for you to steady yourself, though. It's a bit like waking out of a very confusing dream.
I hope you guys don't mind me sitting through all that. I find it kind of interesting. Have you experienced the compressor yourself?
Yeah, I stuck my head in there before using it on you. It seemed like the ethical thing to do. Can't say that I enjoyed it. The field was weaker, but I can imagine what you're going through.
This is all great, but let's talk about the man who was killed.
Yeah, let's not talk about that shit. You were hunting me and fell into my trap instead. That's all there is to say about it.
So she thinks of you as hunters, not the cops, and of herself merely as prey.
Please, could you turn it down so I can ask you something?
If you've got something really important to say, you can do it through the white noise.
You're looking for a deal with my mattress.
Yeah, I know it's a bit long, but I really enjoy the audio mixing that they've done for all this mutter, so I'm letting it play out.
Turn this.
The lieutenant clutches his head, grimacing.
God damn it.
She regards you and Kim with sudden sympathy.
Fine. If you really want to talk, I can dial it down. I've also got a gun, by the way.
She steps reluctantly out of the shadows. The pain lessens.
The gun she's carrying is a 2-barreled front loader, not like the murder weapon. Well, it doesn't feel much better, but you can form sentences now. Thinking doesn't seem to hurt as much. Just keep her talking, and you'll get through this. There's only 3 meters between you and the machine. If you keep her distracted for long enough, maybe. Be careful when you make your move. That'll be it for questions. Bide your time.
It's already very high, but I do want to talk to her first. How did you know we were coming?
I heard you in the passages, and I've been preparing for quite a while.
By hiding bullets under floorboards?
So you found my shack, huh? I'm not surprised.
Her tone is bitter. She thinks she's been betrayed.
She didn't want to write you out, by the way. Isabel, the washerwoman.
So nice. That's one knife I didn't want to find in my back.
She smiles a little smile.
As opposed to the other knives she's finding there now. Hardy for one.
You're desperate, aren't you?
I was. Before I caught you in the pale latitude compressor. I'm fine now.
That's her admitting the bullet was an emergency exit. It was dark in the shack. The waves outside had calmed down. She looked at the loaded gun. Then she cracked the barrel open and took the bullet out. Not today.
Did you shoot Lily?
No, I didn't do it. I only helped stage the lynching, though I doubt that makes much of a difference to you. Who ratted me out, by the way? Was it Titus? No, he wouldn't have broken first.
Your friend Clausier really threw you to the wolves. Said you shot Lily.
Oh, I knew the kitten had claws, but not like this.
She smiles sadly.
But she couldn't have known I was on the coast. How did you find me?
Your first guess wasn't entirely off.
Titus and his boys, man. They told us you were on the coast.
Even now, Kim is a paragon of professionalism. He is trying to make a clean cut of telling her she was betrayed.
Well, fuck. Those guys liked me, I know it. If this is what happens to people whom people like...
A dull despair is creeping into her voice.
How the fuck did the rest of you get by?
Wait, wasn't it you who called me the human can opener? It's not personal. I opened them.
I did, didn't I? Now you've come for me. Fuck them all the same.
She scoffs.
That did make her forgive them. A little.
Honestly, I don't know how I do it. I just stumbled in here. Can you please explain this shit to me?
What shit? I told you I didn't do it. Sounds pretty simple to me.
She adjusts her grip on her gun.
A strong moral compass. She still wants the opportunity to make a case for herself.
Would you say that Lily was a likable person?
I didn't like him. Hardened mercenaries aren't particularly likable types.
There's nothing more personal that you had against him? Perhaps his way with women?
You think I was envious of his conquests? Look, pussy's not a problem for me, and definitely not a reason to off someone.
See her confident gaze, her toned arms. Yeah, she wouldn't have had much trouble in the intimacy department.
Did you feel protective of the Union?
Yeah, sure. And I didn't like Wild Pines sending in those foreign hirelings. Me and a fuck ton of other people around here.
She didn't hate it, okay?
You don't feel sympathy for the mercs? It's hard work.
Plenty of broken people who don't come with that kind of body count. Besides, they're paid well for what they do.
I have other questions.
I'm listening.
Do you have an alibi for when Lily was shot?
Man, I was with the boys the whole night. I hope they at least bothered to impress that upon you.
There were 10 minutes they couldn't account for.
You mean the length of a toilet break? That wouldn't even have been enough time.
Hold on. No one takes a 15-minute leak.
Look, fuck you, man. I might also have stopped by the bar.
She speaketh truth.
Our investigation has shown that 15 minutes was just enough time to commit the murder.
Wow. Now I'm curious. Please, explain.
Play pinball much?
No. Not since I was 14 and hanging out in the only diner in Dardun. Haven't been into low-risk, no-reward games since moving to the city. Why?
There are some mysterious pinball machines and some pretty mysterious rooms in the Whirling.
Yeah, and probably some ghosts from the time of the suzerain. I'm not really interested in supernatural mysteries.
Wait, what kind of mysteries interest you then?
Not murder mysteries either, if that's what you're thinking.
She looks you in the eye impassively, making it clear that she's not planning to comment on the matter any further.
That's a shame because I happen to be a paranatural detective.
Cool. They sent a ghost cop after me. Congratulations.
What about it? Elevators? Do you like elevators?
The fuck do elevators have to do with anything?
Do you or don't you?
Not particularly.
Not even quaint old rickety ones?
I'm not really into old shit for old shit's sake.
God damn it!
The lieutenant grabs his head.
So you know she's not an antiques enthusiast. Not my jurisdiction, man. But it also doesn't sound like she used that secret route at all.
Look, there's a secret way from the ground floor of the Whirling to the roof.
Don't know it, but also...
She frowns, studying your face.
Evaluating your competence as a police officer.
The shot couldn't have come from the roof, or we would have all heard it downstairs.
She has a point there. No one mentioned.
The pain stops him from finishing the sentence.
That didn't go super well. You've got to lay something better on her.
So there are two discrepancies in my investigation thus far. Number one, the fact that nobody did hear a shot coming from the balcony. And number two, the gun that she has on her is not consistent with the gun that was used to commit the murder. But I am going to confront her on it. You have a gun.
And?
Where did you get it?
The gun store.
What gun store?
Trigger Happy Jacks.
Really, Trigger?
What did you think? That I'm going to squeal on my gun supplier? Sorry, I'm not that kind of gal.
I see it's a front loader. Do you have another gun somewhere?
Sure don't.
The breech loader?
No.
I can't quite tell. What kind of gun is it?
A knocked away 80 front loader. 2-barreled. Not really what you were looking for, I'm guessing.
That isn't it.
I know you don't like old things, but do you sell antique rifles on the side?
Never really got into weapons trafficking. Especially not old weapons. They break too often, and you don't want unhappy customers among gun collectors.
There's other evidence I want to ask you about.
Yeah, evidence.
You liked Clausier a lot.
I considered her a good friend, yeah.
Are you a girl like her?
What the hell, man? Yeah, why not? I've gotten worse.
Her hand slipped from the dial of the compressor for a moment, almost turning it down. Then she put her hand back. Not yet. Not yet.
Is peeping one of your hobbies?
Wow. Pissing, pinball, and now peeping. I'm just not following your insinuations, detective.
There's a hole in the wall. You can see into Clausier's room. I wouldn't blame you if you...
If I want to stare at a pretty girl, I can pick one up at a bar. Or, worst case scenario, look at a naughty photo. Who has time to go skulking about the Whirling, drilling holes in walls?
Clausier looks like a girl. One of your posters. She seems to be your type.
What the fuck, man? She's everyone's type. She's your type. Are you sure you're not the one who is excited about the peephole?
She's beginning to suspect you've broken into her lorry now.
Actually... I did get pretty excited.
Cool, man, cool. I'm glad you got off on it. What the fuck are we talking about?
So, you haven't been watching Clausier through a hole in the wall?
Nope. Look, she has an effect on people. That je ne sais quoi that makes it impossible not to look at her when she walks into the room, and very difficult to look away. But travel enough and you realize, for the same reason that she's everyone's type as an object of desire, she's not irreplaceable.
But you want it to be more than just friends.
Oh, so that's where you were going with this.
You said you wanted to run away with her.
That's a very sentimental way of putting it. We both had pasts we didn't want to catch up with us, and we enjoyed listening to music together. Why not go on a road trip?
The lieutenant watches her expectantly, occasionally shaking from the pain.
Okay, fine. I was into her. Clausy was into me too for a time, I know it. We even fooled around once. And yeah, after that I thought maybe we could make a go of it.
Glasia only said they maybe kissed. Someone is lying here.
Wait, Glacier said you only kissed.
If that's what she wants on the record, so be it. I'm not about to go into details for you to jerk off to later.
She rolls her eyes again.
Seriously, just move on.
But I do want details, actually.
Really?
Let me heal up here. Kinda nerve-wracking. I only have 2 health and only 1 charge left on this.
Is that blood on the ground before you? Are your ears bleeding?
Yeah, really?
Okay, then what happened?
She rejected me with some wishy-washy bullshit about how she was confused because she felt so close to me and valued my friendship so much, and how guilty she felt for leading me on. I knew that wasn't the whole story, but thought, fine, I'll take it and move on.
No ill will there. It wasn't a problem for her.
Glacier said you got very angry when she started seeing Lily. Threatened her.
Yeah, one time when we'd both been drinking, I said some heated things about how dangerous her patterns with men were. I was a little worried she'd blow it out of proportion in her head. All the drugs she was doing can make you feel like you're living in a DeLorean tragedy.
And despite everything, you helped her by staging the lynching?
Yeah, the girl seemed terrified. The merc was beyond caring what happened to his mortal coil. It was a no-brainer.
There are other things I ask about.
Go ahead. It's your body.
And mine too, he thinks. But keep on. This must be done.
Do you like to hang out on the rooftops?
Who doesn't? Oh, you probably mean Clausia's rooftop. Sure, I've hung out there. She's got this great antenna.
Is that the only reason you hung out on the roof?
The view's pretty bomb, too. But you might say the antenna was the main attraction there, yeah. Along with Clausia.
What's so great about her antenna?
It's very powerful. I used it to tune into RCM frequencies. That's how I knew to be prepared for your arrival.
So you're sure you didn't shoot the merc from the roof?
Yes, I'm sure. And anyway, as I said before, the shot had to have come from afar.
You're running drugs for the Union. I've been through your lorry.
So, Heart of Gold Tommy fucked me over too. Never trust a musician.
That really comes as a blow to her.
Yeah, I made him. Well, let me see. No, he didn't. I found my own way in.
Okay, great. You got into my lorry on your own. What now? You're going to arrest me for drug trafficking?
A bitter smile.
Beneath it, she's relieved Tommy didn't betray her.
You're a criminal. I can't trust anything you say.
That's your prerogative.
You had a financial incentive to kill the merc.
Man, it's to get away from all that murderous shit that I left Jamrock, my previous employer, for the Union.
The lieutenant is unable to articulate his question.
She deliberately avoided naming the mob she worked for. You might be able to find this out later.
I got lucky being a dispatcher. Never had to do any of the really dirty work myself. This gun has only been used for self-defense against serious scum.
She turns the knob down just a millimeter.
There. It's going to be easier to reach the machine now.
But you're threatening us with it.
Based on what I've heard about you, you are serious scum.
She responds, holding your gaze.
There's a sinister note in her voice. Even with the gun and the compressor, she's afraid of you.
Okay, let's take a step back.
Yeah? Where?
More questions before doing anything.
Who killed the merc if it wasn't you?
How should I know? As I keep saying, he already had a bullet in his head when I got to him, and there hasn't been any useful gossip over the radio.
Those rings around her eyes, her tired voice. She's been staying up late, listening in on the conversations crisscrossing Martinez.
Police radio? You've been following the case?
Who hasn't? You know, I can still see him there, in Claus's room, lying on his side. He was still warm, but the bluish light coming through the broken window made him look as though he'd been dead for a good long while.
What happened Sunday night? Tell me your version.
She eyes you warily, as though gauging your sincerity. She's refusing to adopt the demeanor of a cornered animal, a leader with no one to lead. She still wants to retain some control of the situation.
It's okay. We just want to...
He struggles to finish the sentence.
All right, don't kill yourself over it. I was shooting the shit with Hardy and the boys over a few beers, like always. Then Klasia comes in, all pale and shuddering. She sits down with a drink, trying to steady her nerves. So I grab a seat next to her.
Wait, did she also seem high to you?
Oh yeah, super. But I didn't think too much of it at first. I'd seen her party hard before.
This woman has seen people OD. Glacia wasn't quite there yet, so why worry?
Fosse said you knew something was wrong immediately.
No, I really didn't. She's not that easy to read. I just assumed she'd done too much blow. It wouldn't be a first for her. But no such luck. She was in some deep shit. She asked me to come upstairs. The merc she'd been going with was lying on the bedroom floor, dead. I knew she couldn't get the authorities involved, so yeah.
You made it look like he'd been hanged.
Fosse said you seemed to have a plan prepared when you got there.
What? No. Faking a lynching was her idea.
Her idea?
Yeah, in cold blood. It really surprised me how quickly she was able to get a hold of herself once we got up there. It was like she was another person. The party girl was gone. She asked me to help her drag him into the shower so she could wind the shower head around his neck to fake lividity. Then she dressed him while I went to get the Hardy Boys.
Glacia knew exactly what she was doing. You can't remain calm under pressure otherwise. She lied to you about that, too.
Showerhead? Resourceful.
Yeah. I wasn't sure whether to admire her or be disturbed.
Do you think she killed Lily herself?
As I keep telling you cops, we didn't hear anything downstairs. No gunshot, nothing.
But even if this is true, weren't you worried the lynching might lead to...
The lieutenant forces himself to finish the sentence.
War? The thought crossed my mind. But the mercenary's death was going to have repercussions either way. Although the way things are going...
She purses her lips.
She doesn't want to talk about this, but not because she has something to hide. She doesn't want the guilt.
Fuck it. I'm not responsible for these people after what they did to me.
If you didn't kill him, why hide?
I saw you roll into town. I wasn't about to stick around for questioning by a goddamn La Puta Madre agent.
So this is what she was scared to tell Titus. This cop.
What do you mean, La Puta Madre agent?
Yes, you. Everyone says you're his peon, his human can opener.
She looks at you quizzically. Oh my god.
Through the sudden sharp pain in your head, you hear the lieutenant mumble something to himself.
I am down to 1 health, no charges. So I think what I can do is I can level one of these up to increase my health, right? What is it? Is it volition? Morale. Volition's morale. Endurance. Take blows, don't let the world kill you. I think this gives me an extra health, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Having to get creative here to stay alive.
Fucking hell. And why me? You hear through the white noise. It's especially bad suddenly. Felt like a vein exploded.
Who's everyone? How do you know this?
Everyone in Jamrock. The cops, the criminals. Why do you think I'm holed up in here with a goddamn death ray waiting for you?
If she knows that about you, she must know your real name too.
Tell me, what's my name? If you know that about me, you must know my name.
Harry Dubois. One corrupt motherfucker with the disco pants and a funny tie. agent to La Puta Madre.
She replies quickly.
Did someone mention a fucked up tie? I call bullshit! You're too crazy to be corrupt!
So she knows your name. That doesn't mean you're on the tape. Criminals make up bogeyman stories about cops all the time.
La Puta Madre. I've heard of La Puta Madre. He's dangerous, right?
Is that a joke or a threat? I'm guessing both.
No, that was a real question.
Yeah, sure.
She doesn't believe
I'm sure La Puta Madre himself will explain it all to you soon enough.
What did you do to this Madre anyway?
You've been to my lorry. You think the biggest player in Jamrock appreciates competition? And now I have Harry Can Opener in my lair. Fucking Titus.
you. She's not going to change her mind that easily. She still perceives you as a threat. Wait, one thing, possibly small, but she said you rolled into town. Was that you singular or plural? She might know something.
When I came into town, was there anyone with me?
Yeah, you had your death squad with you. What happened to them anyway?
Who was in this squad?
Well, it wasn't this scrawny dude. You had 2 guys and a lady. The guys looked pretty buff. Lady wasn't bad either.
What else can you tell me?
One of the guys seemed chipper, a blonde. The other had a brooding something or other about her. And the woman was the only one in uniform. All were carrying. That sound about right?
No idea who these people are, literally. Satellite Officer Vitmere looks out of the window grimly, then puts his coffee down and turns to Patrol Officer Miller. We could either take a room here in the whirling or go home for today. Let's go home, Jean. Nothing's going to happen today, she responds quietly. Jean takes his blonde wig off. Call Heidelstam. He can give us a ride.
It sounds like that couple over at the Whirling Inn. I think I know them. They're in Martinez.
Friction, lock, set.
Don't leave me here! Please leave!
Fantastic. I've got to get on the road. Then you can go find your friends. Unless you have anything pressing to ask me.
Do you know about the bunker next door?
What bunker?
The communist hideout back there.
Don't know anything about it. No one's been around since I set up camp. But I'm sure I'm not the first vagabond to...
Her voice trails off into the white noise in your head. It feels like an aneurysm approaching. I need to put another point here. Man, this is eating up a ton of health. Okay, trying to keep myself safe and alive.
Keep calm. Breathe in. After the pain recedes, it's a little clearer.
I think it's time to destroy the machine. 97%, let's go. Come on, Harry Dubois. Double your freighter. He's a horrible hostage taker. He's been crawling there slowly and she didn't do anything.
You did it. The compressor lies broken on its side. It's quiet in your head again. It still hurts like hell, but...
See them fireworks, Kim?
She looks at the machine, assessing the damage. Her hand trembles.
Oh, fuck it.
She puts the barrel of the gun into her mouth. Oh my god. 83% to talk her out of this. It's a red check though. That's kind of spooky if I fail. What are you doing?
Problem solving.
She mutters.
Ma'am, put the gun down. That's not the solution to your problems. You are...
Oh, yes it is.
Oh boy. Let me try to talk her down. Convince her to put the gun down.
You should know
Oh, no.
what to say. You've been here yourself. So why is it not coming to you?
Why am I standing here like an idiot?
Because you've been going around pointing a gun at yourself, trying to answer the same question in vain. Her finger squeezes the trigger now.
I was drunk. I didn't mean it.
No, Wait. Finally, it comes to you. A way to connect with her.
I know your pain. I've been let down by women too. Oh my god.
She flashes you an incredulous grin. Then she exhales sharply, shakes her head, and pulls the trigger.
I can't believe she actually did that. That's crazy. I thought maybe if you failed that red check that something else would happen. Like, I feel like no matter what the outcome was, she would point the gun at you and maybe the Kitsuragi would shoot her or something. But now I wonder, like, if I had passed that check, would she still be alive? Or is this scripted to happen no matter what? Wow. I really was not expecting that.
You watch as her brains trickle out through her neon hair.
She killed herself. I failed to talk her down.
Lieutenant Yefreitor Dubois, control your emotions. We did our job. This won't be the worst thing that happens on this case, believe me. You can't let this break you.
There is no coming back from this one. It will stay with you in nightmares.
What did we just do?
Our job. It went really bad. And now we need to clean it up.
She died. How can he be so cold?
Oh god.
Fuck.
The lieutenant stands motionless, watching the blood pool in the sand.
Get a hold of yourself. He needs your support now, too.
It's our fault.
We are cops. Everything is our fault if we let it be.
He looks around. Okay. What do we do now?
We clean up. It may take days for processing to pick up her body. We need to move it somewhere.
He looks around.
That tent there.
He squints into the darkness. Oh my god, did that really happen? Now I'm, like, really curious. What would have happened if I was able to talk her down? Would she still be alive? Would I still be able to talk to her? Would she help me? If I can take her gun. The knocked away 880 pepper box pistol. Let me take a look at it. This double-barreled pistol is a compact, no-nonsense design, more durable than precise. The walnut-paneled grip is scratched up, bearing the sheen of a long wear in the hands of its previous owner. Can I double-wield? Sick, dude. That's pretty sick. Dark water trails into the distance. There is no way out. Cooking utensils. She has prepared herself porridge with bananas. Oh, good. I got some health here. Just definitely needing that. Let me heal one more here. Man, I took a lot of damage. I had to, like, level up in order to stay alive. It was weird. $8. Let me look at the tent then. Nowhere else to go here.
The plain red tent stands by dispassionately. It was pitched by practiced hands. She was used to camping out.
Look inside.
You see a rolled-up sleeping bag and personal belongings.
We should put her in the sleeping bag, so the rats don't get to her.
Okay, let's carry her over here.
The lieutenant nods. There she lies, cocooned in the sleeping bag, surrounded by empty cigarette packs, books, and half-read magazines. Magazines? You should look through them.
Sift through the books and magazines.
Assorted soft covers, mostly pulp horror. A motor carriage lies buried in the snow on one cover. On another, a ghost airship. You also see a collection of radio enthusiast magazines.
See anything?
The lieutenant peeks in over your shoulder. Sift through the magazines.
Rager Monthly, Journal of Material Science. More Technological Digest. One of the magazines doesn't have images on the cover. It's not a magazine. It's a leather notebook.
A notebook.
You pocket the worn brown leather journal. She watches by, motionless.
We should read this immediately, like right now.
Okay. Might as well go to full health here. Let me take a look at my journal. So looking for Ruby on the coast. Basically have to look at her journal. Still need to offer figurines to Dolores Day. Determine where the shot came from. Check out Island for bullet traces. I need one more. Did I miss somewhere? Because I got 1 and 3, but I missed 2. And I still haven't found the last armor piece. Spirit is eternal. This is still related to the necktie, I think. And then I need to find the murder weapon, which I have not found. It's not here. I'm thinking Ruby was telling the truth and did not have anything to do with this. Let's read through her journal. A well-loved journal with a brown leather cover and the brand name Schneller embossed on the back. It seems to have served as a loyal friend to a lonely traveler.
A thick journal. The cover is worn like someone used to carry it around in their back pocket.
Examine the cover.
It's made of full-grain leather. The lower left corner of the back cover sports an embossed brand name, Schneller. Schneller is a stationery brand from Gottwald, beloved among architects and engineers. She had good taste and must have taken what she recorded here seriously.
Good, I got another skill point. Let me unwind the strap.
The journal falls open. About 2/3 of its ruled pages have been filled.
Study the handwriting.
The large cursive of someone who writes quickly and confidently, perhaps too confidently. Many phrases and even paragraphs have been crossed out, with tiny corrections scrawled above and in the margins.
Flip through the pages.
It's a mix of logistical notes, diagrams, and personal reflections, all dated.
We could learn a lot from this.
What kind of logistics?
Hard to tell exactly. It's mostly noted down in code. Looks like contact information, quantities, directions.
There could be useful information about local operations in those notes. We have a junior sergeant at my station who's good with codes. I can give this to her after we finish this.
Professionalism is his coping mechanism.
What are the diagrams of?
Esoteric radio technology. The most recent ones probably pertain to the latitude compressor, sketches, calculations of distance and density. You make out a familiar spiral shape.
Anything personal?
Short, wry observations of people and places. Probably a way to pass the time on the road. Also, what appears to be attempts to sort through some difficult decisions. There are a few passages with many questions in them. Staff issues. Always tough on the leadership. You smell traces of betrayal.
How far back do the entries go?
The first entry is from August 2nd of last year. It reads simply, I know my position is precarious. All I can do is make myself as useful as I can while looking for a way out. Remember, no one is indispensable.
What did she write the day Lily died?
Nothing on March 4th. March 5th, though, well, that's bound to come back and bite me in the ass. I'm bad at this. Loyal to a fault. But that's another matter entirely. You have no idea what she means. These are personal notes. Don't expect to understand all of it.
Anything about La Puta Madre?
That name isn't mentioned as far as you can tell. Small wonder. Would you talk about La Puta Madre in your journal? You do see an M, though. La Puta Madre. M is mentioned on March 9th and March 15th.
Read the entry from March 9th.
Great. M's peon is coming to town, no doubt to investigate the lynching. But also, I feel it in my gut to finally put a bullet in my head while I'm napping in my lorry or on a smoke break. Well, I won't stick around just to twist my own neck by constantly looking over my shoulder. Then again, isn't that what I've been doing ever since I got the call? The call? Did M call her personally? Why? Things played out just as she had feared, except you didn't shoot her.
This is not me. I wouldn't do something like that.
Maybe it's the old you. Or maybe she was just paranoid. No, not even the old you. No you would do that.
Read the entry from March 12th.
Been holed up here for 3 days now. I'm used to being alone and all, but I don't know when I'll be able to leave, or if I'll be ratted out. They will rat me out, of course. I've made it a point to believe in the best in people, the boys, for example. But experience tells me, did M feel truly betrayed by me? I was feeling threatened. He'd have to know if he threatened people, they'd take measures to protect themselves. Even I know that. Economic measures first of all. Gotta make a living, right? I can still hear his voice in the receiver. Taste the plastic. The entry ends abruptly. The call was a courtesy. He must have held her in high regard to personally tell her he knew about her plan to run drugs for the competition.
What's the most recent entry?
The most recent entry is from today. It reads, even when I leave here, if I leave here alive, what's my next move? Staging a lynching is a crime, even if I'm not accused of murder on top of that. Forever on the run. Not really my idea of the open road. Man, I was really looking forward to winning.
So it looks like La Puta Madre is some sort of crime boss. And apparently I was hired by him to track down Ruby and investigate the lynching. Interesting.
I don't think she killed the mercenary. It looks like she might have been framed.
The lieutenant taps on the page.
This whole thing was a detour, and a fatal one, he thinks. Don't get emotional.
Okay, what do you mean framed?
By the Hardy Boys? By Glacier? By us?
Kim, am I really a La Puta Madre agent?
No, I don't think you are. Ask someone in your precinct if you want to be sure.
He looks you straight in the eye for a moment, then sighs.
He truly does not believe you are. Perhaps he shouldn't be so trusting.
Maybe I could call the precinct from his lorry.
His trust is well placed. You aren't. You can feel it.
Then who do you think killed the merc?
Glacier was the one who pointed the finger at Ruby. Perhaps she was trying to steer us away from herself, or
But no one heard the shot.
maybe she had an accomplice. Either way, we need to keep an eye on her. One thing is for certain. We have business back in the whirling in rags. Questions to ask. We should get to it.
Very interesting. This is all getting super interesting. But, my friends, I've been recording for about 57 minutes, it looks like. I think this is a great stopping point for this episode. We've picked up some new tasks here. Are you La Puta Madre's peon? Ruby said you were a notoriously corrupt cop, La Puta Madre's peon. That's why she was scared of you. When you get the chance, call your station to find out more. If you dare. And then I need to return to the whirling in rags? Return to the whirling after the whole investigator debacle. Someone there has something to answer to. Okay, I don't know what else to say other than the usual things, which are, number one, be sure you like the video, okay? It takes a lot of work for me to get these up for you guys. I appreciate the like. And if you're not already subscribed, be sure to join the family. I bring you great games. Lord of the Rings Online has been going on perpetually, some old school RuneScape, and then a ton of single player games, dozens upon dozens. Check my playlist if you want to see all the games I've played, and enjoy some other ones beyond this one. That's it for now. See you next time. Thanks for stopping by the Renaissance Gaming Monastery. I hope you join our community on Discord and Twitter. These videos are produced with a lot of hard work and love. If you think they're worth $1, I'd be grateful for your contribution. You can send a thanks donation or become a member on YouTube. You can also support through PayPal, Patreon, or even with cryptocurrency. All links are in the description. See you on the next video.